As you grow older, it's only normal for your body to experience some changes, especially in how it processes certain things. Of all the things that could happen to your body and its inner processes, there is considerable proof that aging can be related to insulin resistance, which could just be why you're experiencing an increase in weight, high blood pressure, and also having difficulty building muscle. While there are several reasons known to be responsible for insulin resistance in humans, especially in older people over the age of 40 or 45, there is a particular cause that is not talked about quite often, and it's the reason why insulin resistance is more likely as you grow older. In today's video, we'll be taking you through what this cause is, as well as ways through which you can fix or control insulin resistance within a pretty short time. Do stay tuned and enjoy. To start with, insulin is a hormone that the pancreas makes to allow cells to absorb and use glucose. In simple terms, insulin resistance is when cells in your muscles, fat, and liver don't respond well to insulin, and as a result, they can't use glucose from your body for energy. In a bid to salvage the situation, your pancreas makes more insulin, and when this happens over time, it allows your sugar levels to go up. Under normal circumstances, insulin is expected to function in such a way that your body breaks down the food you eat into glucose, which happens to be the body's main source of energy. When glucose enters your bloodstream, it signals to your pancreas to release insulin, and when this happens, insulin helps the glucose in your blood to enter your muscle, fat, and liver cells so that they can use it for energy or for use at a later time. At the point when glucose enters your cells and levels of it in your bloodstream decreases, it signals your pancreas to stop producing insulin. Because your muscle, fat, and liver cells are capable of responding inappropriately to insulin, they end up being unable to take up glucose efficiently to store it. And because of this, your pancreas makes more insulin to try as much as possible to suppress or overcome your increasing blood glucose levels. While nearly everyone is at risk of insulin resistance, it's more prominent in older people, and in the United States it's reported that over 84 million adults have prediabetes, which is a common marker to determine the prevalence of insulin resistance. So what really causes insulin resistance? Over the years, it's been revealed that weight gain, lack of physical activity, eating too much carbs, and also taking certain medications are some of the reasons causing insulin resistance. However, one factor or cause that is not talked about a lot is mitochondrial dysfunction, and recent studies have shown that it could be the #1 cause of insulin resistance in adults. The mitochondria, as it's commonly known, is called the powerhouse of the cell, as it is the organelle that is responsible for energy production within the cell. In simple terms, mitochondrial dysfunction is the failure of the mitochondria to function as it should. And when this happens, and the mitochondria fails to meet the energy requirement of the body, several problems arise. There is strong evidence to show that it could also be related to aging, while also posing a great risk factor for neurodegenerative diseases. In recent years, abnormal mitochondrial metabolism has been observed in insulin-resistant states, with studies going on to show that diminished mitochondrial function in muscle is commonly associated with insulin resistance. According to a research that investigated how insulin resistance arises by studying healthy, lean, elderly, and young participants, results showed that older participants were significantly insulin resistant as compared with young controls, with this resistance being attributable to reduced insulin-stimulated muscle glucose metabolism. The results of the study also suggested that insulin resistance in the elderly is related to increases in intramyocellular fatty acid metabolites that may be a result of an age-associated reduction in mitochondrial oxidative and phosphorylation activity. The claim that mitochondrial dysfunction also has something to do with aging was also backed, with the study emphasizing that because mitochondrial oxidative and phosphorylation activity is the primary source of energy in most organs, including the brain, a decline in mitochondrial oxidative and phosphorylation energy production may also have an important role in aging. With this as the case, there are several things to consider to salvage the situation and prevent insulin resistance as a result of mitochondrial dysfunction, and one of these things includes thinking about ways through which you can develop more mitochondria in such a way that even though you lose some, or when they become inefficient, you can still have enough that can help you continue the natural production of energy even as you grow older. To this, your focus must be turned to mitochondrial biogenesis, which is the process by which mitochondria grow in number and size. One powerful way through which you can improve mitochondrial function is fasting. When we fast, our cells are forced to adapt and become more efficient at producing energy, with this process also referred to as mitochondrial biogenesis. Regardless of how you choose to go about your fast, the body produces new mitochondria and repairs the damaged ones during fasting. Fasting is also known to activate specific genes like PGC1-alpha and NRF2, both of which promote mitochondrial biogenesis and helps to regulate mitochondrial function while also offering protection against oxidative stress. To add to these, fasting also increases ATP production, which then helps to improve energy production and cellular function. While there are different types of fasting, you can try the regular intermittent fast or choose to follow an early time restricted feeding or ETRF plan. For more details on fasting and the one that is more beneficial for you, you can watch our other videos on fasting hacks that reduce insulin resistance and your weight as well. Aside from fasting, another underrated fix for mitochondrial dysfunction is cardio. Even though it's commonly believed that high-intensity strength training can improve mitochondrial function and boost mitochondrial biogenesis, cardio or regular aerobic exercises are also very good for you. Increasing evidence has been emerging over the years to show that aerobic exercise can effectively regulate the coordinated circulation of mitochondrial dynamics, which also happens to play a role in preventing the development of cardiovascular diseases. More importantly, aerobic exercises have been shown to increase mitochondrial enzymes, which are necessary for metabolic reactions in the mitochondria. To add to this, the overall density of mitochondria in muscle tissue is also believed to increase in response to aerobic workouts. So instead of just sticking to strength training all the time, try out some aerobic exercises like swimming, cycling, walking, running, dancing, or using cardio machines. Another thing that can help you to improve the situation with the mitochondria during old age is cold exposure. In addition to exercise, cold exposure induces the gene expression of mitochondrial biogenesis markers in muscle and adipose tissues. And with this, it increases the expression of mitochondrial biogenesis-related genes in soleus muscle. It's pretty important to use this along with your exercise plan, as they've been reported to work hand in hand, with exercise even being a necessary condition for increasing mitochondrial biogenesis. Cold exposure on its own is also quite good, as it's been shown to increase the number of activity of mitochondria to support increases in ATP consumption, leading to increased generation of reactive oxygen species. Recent studies also show that a protein named PGC-1A, which is one of the main regulators for mitochondrial biogenesis, also affects the synthesis of antioxidant enzymes, thus controlling the mitochondrial generation of reactive oxygen species. Generally, cold exposure also increases the body's overall resistance to stress factors of different types, making it a worthy addition to whatever you're currently doing, especially at an old age. Inflammation also counts as being vital for hindering mitochondrial activity, and as such, reducing and incorporating healthy ways to reduce inflammation should be considered. To do this, taking turmeric can work for you. Recent studies have shown that turmeric helps to prevent and reduce inflammation, and while it's considered good, it's important to avoid taking a high dosage. Curcumin is another important option to consider, with several peer-reviewed studies showing that curcumin can help reduce inflammation signals in the body system. In addition, a high-fiber diet has also been shown to lower inflammation and reduce the symptoms of many diseases potentially. As you improve your fiber intake, ensure to lower your intake of carbs, as it tends to be among the most minor things that can cause a trigger and result in insulin resistance. Which high-fiber foods are you already thinking of adding to your diet? Let us know in the comments section. If you also enjoyed the video, hit that like button, share it with your friends, and of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you like this video, you should also check out If Only I Knew These Fasting Hacks 5 Years Ago.